Hey, good morning everyone. Friday morning, the 23rd of October 2020. This morning's devotion is a reading from Paul's second letter to Timothy, chapter 2, reading verses 11 through to 13. And they read, "Here is a trustworthy saying, if we died with him, we will also live with him. If we endure, we will also reign with him. If we disown him, he will also disown us. If we are faithless, he will remain faithful, for he cannot disown himself." This morning we have a look at reconnecting with God. How does a person reconnect with God? So many of us have drifted away because of a sin or something that we think that God is unable to forgive. Down in their hearts, the people who blame God for what happens know that God isn't the one who caused their problem. They have simply chosen to turn and walk away because God did not reverse the tide of evil or the wickedness which broke the tranquility and order of their lives. So here's the question: how do you restore the broken connection with God? When David realized that his affair with Bathsheba had broken his connection with God, he prayed about it, pouring out his heart and honestly telling God how he felt. And we find this in Psalm chapter 51, and I would urge you to read this psalm. This is also a very important first step to acknowledge our wrong and to turn away from it. We also need to realize that God's desire to embrace us and draw us closer to him is far stronger than our desire for him to do this. We need to remind ourselves that it's not God who has moved. We are the ones who have moved away. So come back home to God. Paul writes to Timothy, even when we are too weak to have any faith left, he remains faithful to us and will help us, for he cannot disown us who are a part of him, and he will always carry out his promises to us. God's nature is that of faithfulness. His love is unchanging, and his desire to have fellowship with us hasn't lessened in spite of our departure from his presence. We need to draw that proverbial line in the sand, step across it, and say, as for the past, I leave it behind me. I choose to walk with the Lord. Joshua reminds us in Joshua chapter 24, as for me and my family, we will serve the Lord. Get back to church. Find that Bible that's collected dust over the years and start reading it. Underline important verses. Memorize scripture and realize that it is God's letter to you. It is time to restore the broken connection. My dear friends, may we use this time wisely to reconnect with God, who desires to have a loving, living, active relationship with each and every one of us. He stands there waiting for us with open arms, much like the father waited for his son to return in the story of the prodigal son. My dear friends, with those few short words, my prayer is that may the Lord be with you, may he bless you, may he cause his face to shine upon you, and be with you always. Goodbye.